spicy meat.
Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new review concerning the mighty one, the T123. Don't worry, we're not going to stay too much on the garage. I just want to tell you 3 things about the tank: bad mobility, really good gun, and obviously one of the strongest armor at tier 10. Before jumping into the replays, there are 2 things I want you to understand about that tank. When it comes to consumable, you definitely need to have improved engine power boost. It will allow you to take advanced position faster, or retreat, or even circle when you need to, because as you don't have any turret, you are extremely exposed to your opponents. And second, you should definitely consider buying the attachment that there is on this tank. Let me show you why. Without the attachment, as you can see, the weak spot is exposed. Even if it's not the best and easiest weak spot to penetrate, it's still weak spot, at least to tanks as yours. Whereas if you use your attachment, as you can see, you are hiding it a little bit, which can help sometimes bouncing shots or even preventing your enemies to shoot at your weak spot because they can't see it. Second thing, how am I equipping my tank for those games you're about to see? Gun rammer because I have enough penetration, enhanced gun lane drive to reduce my aim time, finally vertical stabilizer to reduce even more my aim time, even if I could go for the refined gun, as most of the time with this tank when you shoot you are immobile. It all depends on your playstyle, to be fair. After I go for the defense system because I'm not gonna ram anybody, enhanced armor because as I have one of the strongest armor at tier 10, I definitely need to use that to improve it even more. Toolbox because an instruct is useless, improved optics because I never camp with my E3, so I would rather be able to spot for myself, improved control to be able to turn faster to avoid getting circled too easily, and finally high-end consumable or consumable delivery system, depends on what you would rather use, to be able to crush my enemies using adrenaline. Let's not lose too much time and jump directly into it. How do you want to play such a beast? As I told you, you have armor pretty much everywhere except at one point, and I'm going to show you as it's only the beginning of the game. When you take a look at the tank, it's armored everywhere except the lower part of the hull, which can be penetrated quite easily. So when you try to work over a ridge line, I'm going to take that position, and after this one, you want to make sure to use your 10 degrees of gun depression for you not to take any useless shots. So there we go, guys. There we go. We're going to try to take our advanced position, and it's already starting shooting at that T123, sorry, we have in front. Here it is, the mighty bounce, and look at where the guy bounced. I think it bounced straight into my cupola, which, as I told you, is an amazing weak spot. Amazing weak spot. Why I'm saying amazing weak spot? Because it's not necessarily the best and easiest weak spot to shoot at. So there we go. We sneaked our first shot as well on the T123, and here you're gonna see something quite interesting. As we are T123 against T123, when I switch to a PCR, you can see that it becomes quite easy to penetrate this part of the tank or even here. Also, one thing I want to highlight to you, this area here, you can penetrate it using HE. You just need to make sure to shoot it and to penetrate, and obviously if you do, you are going to do 1k damage because it's an overmatch for pretty much everything. Let's go back to the game. As you can see, using a PCR with a tank destroyer allows us to completely destroy the armor of the T123, and I don't really know why the guy in front did not try it, because we're going to go again for the exact same shot, and boom, there we go, the T123 is no more. We are getting circled. That's one of the things you have to fear the most when using your T123. Not a problem here, the guy is stuck, so he did not manage to do that much damage. He's completely stuck, so we are not gonna bother. We are gonna push him, but before pushing, guys, I'm checking because I know that right there is the FV1A3, and if I cross here, he is able, or he will be able, to sneak a headshot and therefore one-shot me. Had to come, sorry. So let's go back, fellas. There is the WZ, and I'm expecting the FV1A3 not to be watching me right now. He must have moved, so I'm gonna think, you know what, I should probably try something. I'm gonna wait for the WZ to come around. I think by now the FV1A3 is bored about watching me, so he's probably looking away. That allows me to get into the WZ, sneaking an HE shot in the back and getting the kill. Now we gotta deal with the Sheridan, and as I told you, you gotta stick your tank to different parts of the map to avoid getting circled. That's what I do here, for example, with the Sheridan, because if he tried to circle me like that, I would have just stuck myself near the rock to avoid getting completely circled, because as long as you have your light tanks on your left or your right, it's fine. You can still overcome them to avoid getting circled. But once they are on your back, which is quite exposed and quite easy to penetrate because that's where the radiator is, you are dead. Here, no problem, 2 kills, 4.3k damage, and the last shot goes in straight on the Heavy-183. What is lovely about the T123 is probably its ability to adapt itself to whatever situation. As long as you're not exposed in a field in the open, you should be able to get some great games, and therefore that's why I consider this is definitely a newbie-friendly tank, as long as you're aware that you gotta stick yourself to some different modules on the map. Let's roll the second one. Concerning the second replay, as you can see, I'm not playing alone, but don't worry, it's not gonna change anything about this game because we did not necessarily play together here. So basically, T123 here, you're gonna see the struggle of the tank when you are on the wrong side of the map, kind of. Because even if you are meant to push forward, to brawl against your opponents, and most importantly, take shots for your allies for them to be able to push, you also sometimes have to play like a traditional tank destroyer. And that's exactly what we're doing right now, because we're not going to focus on taking shots, we're going to focus on dealing damage. Here we go with the first one on the Heavy-183. We still have the Kranwagen and the Projectile to deal with, and something really insane to notice about my gun is the 10 degrees of gun depression that you can see at work on the Projectile right there, dealing 1k damage. This gun depression, guys, is your best ally. It will allow you to work on reach lines, and that's possibly the best thing there is about the T123. You already have one of the greatest armor, and if you manage to angle it properly by using your 10 degrees of gun depression, you are gonna be the king. Obviously, you still need to be careful about one thing when it comes to that tank. You don't want to angle it. Stay straight in front of your opponents, because even angling just like that, if they shoot at the first gallet of your tracks, it's over for you. They will penetrate. There we go for a sneaky shot on the VK7201K using HE. When you can't penetrate, just use HE. You are a tank destroyer. You have 640 alpha damage. So you will possibly be able to do at least 300 damage. Look at this, we sneak 2 shots on the Heavy using HE, and in total we did 700 damage. Do not underestimate the power of HE, guys. And now it's only a traditional game of tank destroyer where we take some distance and we sneak our shots as much as we can. So there we go, we're gonna try to get a shot on the VK, unfortunately he's gonna cross too fast, and that's where you're gonna see how impressive the accuracy of this tank is when you are fully focused. Look at the VK right now, and let's just wait to see its part of the tank. We went for a great shot straight into the side of its turret, which allowed us to get some juicy damage. There is still the T-30 to deal with, and look at how struggling the T-30 is right now. He tried to get our weak spot. Unfortunately for him, we don't have any. Already 4.5k damage, guys. There is still the VK that is alive. We're gonna try to get a shot in. Hopefully we will, because it seems like the guy doesn't really want to move. We're gonna wait for him, and look at that amazing shot, guys. Look at what's gonna happen right now, and boom, straight into the goddamn side of the turret. Okay, I wanted to show you, but the guy died way too fast. So now we still have to deal with the T-30 and all, but there is a closer target. I'm still a one shot, obviously, and there is the Yak Tiger, but by now I'm gonna remain unspotted and sneak my shot on him. He's gonna try to get a shot on my teammates, therefore I'm not spotted. We secure 5.7k damage, and he's trying, but that's where we take our advanced position. The Yak Tiger knows he can't penetrate me if he doesn't see the lower part of my hull. Therefore, for him, it's quite hard to not retreat. And as he's retreating, we are going to take advantage of the map. We are going to push through. From here, the Yak Tiger can shoot me. He knows it. That's why he went for my friend, the WT. He's trying to escape, but nobody can escape from the T-123, that massive bunker that is just here to snap and clap some cheeks. So there we go, and another bounce as expected. I don't even know where I took it. Let me clarify. Let me see where I took it. Oh, straight into the gun mantlet. You have like one 1000mm of raw armor here, impossible to penetrate. There we go, we sneak a shot on the T-30. Unfortunately, the RNG was not on our side. There are two guys here, but hopefully I think the Kranvagin is gonna deal with them and kill them before we make it. It's not a problem, 6.5k damage, guys, and quite easily. I did not even sweat trying to get them. Maybe a little bit on the Yak Tiger, but was that really necessary? I don't think so. And that's pretty much how you want to play your T123. Always hide the lower part of your hull, never try to angle it against your opponents, use the speed boost combined with the attachment to avoid getting penetrated and to avoid arriving last on the battlefield, and you're set up to have some good ace tankers. Hopefully you enjoyed. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like, and share, and I'm gonna see you soon for a new review. See ya.